Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, faith-based minorities continuously face persecution. This persecution increases every year, which has brought an ugly fame not only to Pakistan but also to the religion of Islam, which is practiced by the majority of population in this country. Here it looks imperative that the Pakistani government officials, religious scholars and masses are informed about the contents of a historical testament, the Covenant of Ashtename, which the Prophet of Islam, Hazrat Mohammad, peace be upon him, signed personally in year 623 AD. As per available historical record, the original testament was written in Arabic by Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him. According to the monks' tradition, Muhammad, peace be upon him, frequented the monastery and had great relationships and discussions with the Sinai fathers. The monks claim that during the Ottoman conquest of Egypt in the Ottoman Mamluk War, the original document was seized from the monastery by the Ottoman soldiers and taken to Sultan Selim I's palace in Istanbul for safekeeping. The document is generally accepted as authentic by modern and ancient scholars. This translation has been done by Anton F. Haddad, who was born in Lebanon in 1862 in a Christian family. Later, he moved to the USA. For some time, he converted to the Baha'i religion, but before death in 1924, he reverted back to Christianity. Here is the English translation of the Testament. This is a letter which was issued by Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the messenger, the prophet, the faithful, who is sent to all the people as a trust on the part of God to all his creatures, that they may have no plea against God hereafter. Verily God is omnipotent, the wise. This letter is directed to the embracers of Islam as a covenant given to the followers of Jesus the Nazarene in the east and west, the far and near, the Arabs and foreigners, the known and the unknown. This letter contains the oath given unto them, and he who disobeys that which is therein will be considered a disbeliever and a transgressor to that whereunto he is commanded. He will be regarded as one who has corrupted the oath of God, disbelieved his testament, rejected his authority, despised his religion, and made himself deserving of his curse, whether he is a sultan or any other believer of Islam. Whenever Christian monks, devotees, and pilgrims gather together, whether in a mountain or valley, or den or frequented place, or plain or church, or in houses of worship, verily we are at the back of them, and shall protect them, and their properties and their morals by myself, by my friends, and by my assistants, for they are of my subjects and under my protection. I shall exempt them from that which may disturb them, of the burdens which are paid by others as an oath of allegiance. They must not give anything of their income, but that which pleases them. They must not be offended or disturbed or coerced or compelled. Their judges should not be changed or prevented from accomplishing their offices, nor the monks disturbed in exercising their religious order, or the people of seclusion be stopped from dwelling in their cells. No one is allowed to plunder these Christians or destroy or spoil any of their churches or houses of worship, or take any of the things contained within these houses and bring it to the houses of Islam. And he who takes away anything therefrom will be one who has corrupted the oath of God, and in truth disobeyed his messenger. Jizya should not be put upon their judges, monks, and those whose occupation is the worship of God, nor is any other thing to be taken from them, whether it be a fine, a tax, or any unjust right. Verily I shall keep their compact, wherever they may be, in the sea or on land, in the east or west, in the north or south, for they are under my protection and the testament of my safety against all things which they abhor. No taxes should be received from those who devote themselves to the worship of God in the mountains, or from those who cultivate the holy lands. No one has the right to interfere with their affairs or bring any action against them. Verily, this is for aught else and not for them. Rather, in the seasons of crops, they should be given a qada for each ardab of wheat, as provision for them, and no one has the right to say to them, this is too much, or ask them to pay any tax. As to those who possess properties, the wealthy and the merchants, the poll tax to be taken from them must not exceed 12 drachms a head per year. Do not dispute or argue with the people of the book, but in the They shall not be imposed upon by anyone to undertake a journey or to be forced to go to wars or to carry arms, for the Muslims have to fight for them. Do not dispute or argue with them, but deal according to the verse recorded in the Quran, which is, do not dispute or argue with the people of the book, but in that which is best. 29:46. Thus they will live favored and protected from everything which may offend them by the callers to religion of Islam, wherever they may be and in any place they may dwell. Should any Christian woman be married to a Muslim, such marriage must not take place except after her consent, and she must not be prevented from going to her church for prayer. Their churches must be honored, and they must not be withheld from building churches or repairing convents. They must not be forced to carry arms or stones, but the Muslims must protect them and defend them against others. It is positively incumbent upon every one of the followers of Islam not to contradict or disobey this oath until the day of resurrection and the end of the world. After having read this covenant, testament of Ashtiname, the government officials, religious scholars and masses can gauge their behavior, which is oftenly shown to various minorities living in Pakistan. The most recent example has come on 16th of August 2023 from city of Jaranwala near Faisalabad, where Christian minorities were treated in extremely brutal ways by the Muslims of Pakistan.